Hello, and in this video I want to show you the latest app from Bitcoin.com. They've just added Bitcoin Cash as well as Bitcoin and also Shapeshift, so you can shapeshift between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So I want to run through this now with you. We'll just go into it and have a look at it. So what you'll see is two wallets. You'll have the Bitcoin Cash wallet and then the Bitcoin Call, BTC. And you'll have, with those two wallets, one, the Bitcoin Cash is green, so it's an easy way to remember, and the yellow/orange color, actually should be probably orange, that is for BTC, for Bitcoin. Alright, so we've got the two different wallets there. So it's very easy to get Bitcoin.com wallet. I'll just show you where you need to go to. So go to bitcoin.com. Okay, and all you need to do is click on a download for free. And you've got different wallets to choose from. You've got Android, iOS, Windows, and Mac, and also Linux as well. Okay, and so I'll just run through some of the basics here. After you download it, I'm just going to use the one for iOS. That's on my phone. So I'm going to run through it now. So basically, the main screen will have both the wallets in it. Down the bottom, it'll have Explore Bitcoin, Bitcoin price chart, plus Buy Bitcoin. And down the bottom, which is new, is Shapeshift. We have a quick look at that. And if you're not familiar with Shapeshift, all it means is changing one coin to another coin. So if you have Bitcoin, you can actually change it to Bitcoin Cash, and you use a service called Shapeshift to do that. Really simple to use. Okay, and Buy Bitcoin, I haven't actually used this service before, but you can use a credit card to buy from Bitcoin.com. At the moment, I think they only offer Bitcoin for sale, not Bitcoin Cash. Okay, explore Bitcoin.com, that's the website. So down the bottom, you'll notice you've got receive, scan, send, and settings. So what will actually, the very first time you come into Bitcoin.com wallet, it'll ask you to create the wallet. And essentially it's a step-by-step. It's pretty straightforward. It will ask you to back up your 12-word keys. It'll actually give you 12 words. They're called recovery words, and you need to write them down in a safe area, because whoever has access to those 12 words can actually get access to your wallet, and then if they want, they can move the funds. So just be careful of that. Alright, so let's have a look at what we can do. Let's say we want to receive some Bitcoin Cash. We make sure we click on receive, and you'll see down the bottom it says personal wallet, and it's got little green, it says BCH for Bitcoin Cash. And on the screen is a QR code, and if you can see that, or you take a snapshot of it, for example, that will then change to the actual address below it. You can also click on the address, and it will actually copy it to clipboard, and then you can email it to someone or text it to someone, something like that, if you want to get them to send you Bitcoin Cash. So that's where your address is, and that's your QR code for receiving your Bitcoin Cash. Same works. So we go back. If you wanted to do the same thing, receive, but this time is for Bitcoin itself, you would go into the wallet. At the moment it's got selected that it's in Bitcoin Cash. We can just select the other one, and now it's changed to the Bitcoin wallet as opposed to the Bitcoin Cash. So we'll swap it back. Now at the moment I'm using Bitcoin Cash because it's very similar to Bitcoin, except that you're not paying the extraordinary fees. So at the moment, without getting too much into it, Bitcoin, the fees are quite high at the moment to make transfers, and it's just not viable to use to actually do transfers to send someone some cash or something like that. So that's why I'm using Bitcoin Cash. Alright, so then let's have a look at the next one along, which is scan. So the way scan works is, if we'll look at the screen, for example, if we have a QR code, so for example, say you want to send something to someone and a QR code comes on the screen, then the QR code is what you would take a snapshot of, And then once you have that QR code, that will then bring up that address in the wallet. So if you can see a QR code, somebody's QR code, then you can use that to send them the coin. All right. The next one is actual send. If we click on send, just wait for that to catch up. It's a little bit slow at the moment. Okay, so we click on send. So what it's doing now is you can either click on the scan button, which is where we were just before, okay, or okay, so we want to send to a recipient. Now you can either search for a recipient, but if you don't have any contacts in there, you won't find anything, so you'll need to add a contact. Or you can enter the Bitcoin address. Now you can paste that in there from somewhere else, or you could use the actual where we used before. It actually scans the QR code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan the QR code, and then I'm going to give that a name to the wallet, and then once it's saved, I'll do a search for it. Okay, so this is what you would do. You would click on the QR code, and we will just select that one. It'll pop up on the screen, and then come up with the address, and you can add this as a contact. So then we give it a name. So let's put my name in there. Okay, and if you want, you can also put the email address. Okay, so that's done, and we've got the coin as BTC. So then we just click save, and now we're in there as a contact. So if I want to, I can actually do a search. I can do a search for the name. Okay, and it's now filtered out showing just that one. We then select that contact, and then we've got on here, we've got the amount in BTC, and for mine I'm in Australia at the moment, so it's got AUD for Aussie dollars, but wherever you are, you'll be able to change that in the settings. So we can either send the amount of BTC that we want if we know exactly what we're doing. So 0.1 would be about nearly $1,800. Or if we knew the exact amount in Aussie dollars, we could just say, okay, we want to send $10, for example. The next thing we would do is click on this button. It tells us we've got insufficient funds. Okay. So let's have a look. We'll go back, and this time we want to. We'll scan a Bitcoin Cash, okay, and we'll do a transfer on that one. So let's try that. So what I'll do is we'll go into settings, and this is how you get access to the address book. And then if you want, you can just click on remove, and that will remove the address book. Okay. You can also add them in manually there. So let's go back. So we go to send, and we need to get our Bitcoin Cash address. So what we can do is we can either type it in or paste it, but I'm just going to use the QR code. So let's select it, and now ask me for, it's got the Bitcoin address, and we want to add a contact again, so we'll do that again. In my email. Okay, so that's done. Now, something to be aware of, even though I've chosen that address, it's actually a Bitcoin Cash address. Now, be careful with this because the coin is BCH. Don't make that mistake when you're doing that address book. It even actually says Bitcoin address up here, but really it should be Bitcoin Cash address. So just be wary of that and make sure the coin is BCH. Then we go save. So now we've got that. Now we can see that it's BCH and we're sending it there. So what we can do then is click on the contacts, we might be able to send, let's send $1. Okay, now we click on the little arrow, it calculates the fee. So basically it's sending to myself, I've got another wallet that it's sending to, and it's going to cost me 1 cent to do the transaction. Okay, so all I need to do is slide that across. It will then create the transaction and payment sent. Okay, let me just click OK. Also sends an email to say that it's been sent, and then gives you a notification that it was sent almost instantaneously. So that's how you can send the payment. So just be careful when you're doing the contacts. So go back into the address book. Just remember, depending on the address that you type in and the coin. So it could be, I'm just having actually a look at this address now. That is my Bitcoin Cash address, but it actually says Bitcoin is a BTC, which is not quite correct. That could be like a bug perhaps. But these are the things you've got to be careful of. So when you go to send, you would scan it and then make sure it is coming out of the correct personal wallet and going to the correct wallet. So, and it doesn't matter whether it's Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, or whether it's Litecoin Dash, any of those other ones, you need to make sure that you're sending the correct coin to the correct address. Alright, now if we want to receive, let's do it the other way. So we'll click on receive. We can see that we've got the personal wallet up there. It's BCH. So this is the QR code plus the Bitcoin Cash. So now we want to send to that. So I'm using my Exodus wallet, which is off screen at the moment. So what I'm going to do is click on send, and then I'm going to send to that address. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to copy paste over that address. Give me a second. I've sent the actual address, the Bitcoin Cash address, over to my Exodus wallet. So now I'm actually doing off screen, I'm sending this transaction through for $1. So what I'll do, I'll click on send. Just go back to the home screen. We'll click on send. It's asking me for confirmation. I'm going to go click send. And that will then send through and come through into the Bitcoin Cash wallet. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the notifications come through while you actually have that wallet and how long they do take. But normally, we'll click on the wallet, so we've got 0.2963. And when we click into the wallet, there you go. So it's actually saying we sent out 4 minutes ago, which was that transaction we sent. And now it's said it's still receiving a few seconds ago. And if you actually click on that, it says receiving roughly 90 cents and it's unconfirmed. So we go back. And this will take a little while to confirm. And once it's confirmed, it will then be in the wallet. So that's essentially how you send and receive within there. So it's pretty straightforward. If you want to receive, you display your QR code. When you want to send, you either scan a QR code or you click on send, choose a contact that you've already done, or paste in the actual address. And of course, you want to make sure that when you paste in the recipient, just make sure that you're pasting in the correct address and it's going to the person that you want it to do it to. Alright, so let's go into settings. So in settings we have the address book, which I showed you before. You can click on the plus at the top, put in the name, email, the address, and choose the coin. Okay, and we did notice before that was a little bit buggy. It was actually saying BTC when it was actually BCH. So that should be fine, but just be aware of that. And then you've got help and support, which is a link, goes to website, send feedback if you need to talk about the app in any way. You can share the wallet to other people if you're interested. And then we've got notifications. So notifications enable push notifications when transactions are confirmed, and email me as well, and then your address. So that's handy. So in this section you've got language. You can change the language to any other languages there. You got alternate currency, so you can change that. At the moment I got mine on Australian dollar. You just choose the appropriate one for you. You can actually even choose Bitcoin Cash, which is interesting. And what else have we got here? So there's quite a few different currencies that you can choose. Also, you can lock the app, which I think is, yeah, you can put in fingerprint or PIN. Just be aware if you put in a PIN, if you get the PIN, I haven't looked into this yet, but without that PIN, you may not be able to get it recovered. Same with the fingerprint if there's something wrong with that. I haven't actually investigated that yet, but you can easily be locked out if you don't have the PIN, and sometimes some of these apps don't allow you to recover. The Bitcoin fee, it's just a standard. They try and get basically it's normal. You can change that. Okay, and then it has your personal wallet. You can actually rename these. We've got Bitcoin Cash Wallet and the Bitcoin Core. So if you own a personal, you can actually click on name, and you can actually change the name of that there if you want to. Okay, you can also change the color to any of the different colors. You can also hide your balances, so when you're showing people, they don't need to see how much you have in there. Then you've got a spending password. So basically, if enabled, all your information will be protected, and also request fingerprint. So that means when you try and actually do a transaction out, it will stop from happening unless you put the password in. Okay, and also you've got backup, which it brings up your 12. If you go through, it'll actually show the 12 recovery words, so you can restore it. More options here. This shows under the personal wallet information, tells you all information about it. And you can export transaction and also delete wallet as well. Okay, and that is just that one, and you can do the same thing with the BTC. So you have a few things there. You don't really have to do anything, but it is available. Under advanced, you can use unconfirmed funds, which is on, and also recent transaction cards, which you've seen them pop up before on the front screen. So it'll say payments sent. If we click on recent, so it says we send out a payment. We'll click on this one now. We'll see whether or not we have any confirmations for receiving. So really 6 minutes ago, hasn't confirmed yet. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how that works. If you've got any questions about how that works, please drop them down in the comments below, and I will try and answer them for you. But basically, it's a good wallet, and just remember that you only want to keep on like something for a wallet like this, a mobile wallet. You want to keep funds on there that that possibly could get compromised, and you're comfortable losing. If you put like $1 million of your funds into one of these wallets, there's a few things that it doesn't have, like for example with the Trezor, with a hardware wallet, you're going to get added protection. So you need to decide how much money you're willing to put into both an online wallet and also wallets on your phone, because they may someone may get access to your funds, so you need to think about that, and extra protection that you want to have to prevent people taking your funds. So I might easily put $100 or maybe even $1,000 onto a wallet onto my phone. But certainly any bigger numbers, I might want to put that onto my desktop, for example. And then larger amounts that I don't even feel comfortable with that, then I would use something like a hardware wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor, which I'll cover in some other videos on how they work. But hopefully that gives you an idea of how to use the Bitcoin.com wallet, and how to do the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. And just remember, if you are sending Bitcoin currently, the fees are pretty high. So if you try and do any small transactions, you won't have enough funds to move them. Bitcoin Cash is not a problem and it's basically the same sort of speed. The confirmations are pretty quick at the moment, and the fees are very low. So that's why my preference on that. I just like things that I can use. And before we all had these problems with the fees with Bitcoin, I loved Bitcoin, but now the fees are high. I've switched to different coins, so I can actually do transactions without paying too much fees. So there we go. All right. Well, see you in the next video. Bye.